I appreciate you joining me today. We're going to be looking in Deuteronomy at a passage about tithing. Our hymn today is the hymn, Give of Your Best to the Master.
Give of your best to the Master. Give of the strength of your youth. Throw your soul's fresh glowing ardor into the battle for truth. Jesus has set the example. Dauntless was he, young and brave. Give him your loyal devotion. Give him the best that you have. Give of your best to the Master. Give of the strength of your youth. Clad in salvation's full armor, join in the battle for truth.
All right. Let's look at our passage. Actually, before that, let me mention something. The hymn today comes from a channel on YouTube. I believe the name of the channel is John Rogers. I usually try to put the source down in the description. But I'm so appreciative of those who sing these songs. Of course, the normal song leader is Brother Lee Elkins, who's a personal friend and a co-worker, fellow preacher down in Arkansas. And he takes time every week to record these songs. And he's having to learn these songs, a lot of them. And I'm just so appreciative of him. I'm also appreciative of those on YouTube, like this fella. You can go to his channel. Like I said, I believe it's John Rogers, if I remember correctly. And others that I use pretty often, or maybe used pretty often, there's one called Acapella. I believe is the name of it. But it just takes a lot of work, a lot of work to do what these individuals are doing and making them available for us to use and enjoy. Anyway, I just thought I'd mention that if you're ever interested in going to other channels, and because that I know on that John Rogers channel, he has all sorts of hymns on there that he has done. Anyway, back to our study today. Give of your best to the Master. We're in Deuteronomy chapter 26, and as I said, talking about tithing, offerings of the first fruits and tithes. And as it happens, he says, when you come into the land which the Lord your God is giving you, take some of the first of all the produce of the ground and bring it to the Lord. And you'll go to the one who's the priest in those days, verse 3. I declare today to you, to the Lord your God, that I have come to the country which the Lord swore to our fathers to give us. God fulfilled his promise. And a little bit of a history. You're supposed to say, my father was a Syrian about to perish, and he went down to Egypt. He's talking about Jacob. The Egyptians mistreated us, afflicted us, laid hard bondage on us. We cried out to the Lord, and the Lord heard their cry. And now the Lord brought them out of Egypt and brought them to this place and given us this land, a land flowing with milk and honey. And so when they bring this offering, you'll set it before the Lord your God and worship before the Lord your God. And so you shall rejoice in every good thing, verse 11, which the Lord your God has given to you in your house, you and the Levite and the stranger who is among you, verse 12. And when you have finished laying aside all the tithe of your increase in the third year, the year of tithing, and have given it to the Levite, the stranger, the fatherless, the widow, so that they may eat within your gates and be filled. And what a wonderful thing. Calls to mind James chapters 1 and 2 when it talks about pure and undefiled religion, and that you are caring for these individuals. You're caring for the Levites. The Levites had they had cities, but they relied on the people to take care of them. And so they were thankful for that. And there were those, you have the poor, you have the needy, you have the fatherless, you have orphans, you have the widows, and that they were cared for. And what a wonderful thing. And that's what religion should be, that we care for people. We care for people. We do good unto all. might consider it, of course, especially the household of faith, but we do good for all. And we care for all as the Lord cares for all. Back to our passage, verse 13. And then you shall say before the Lord your God, I have removed the holy tithe from my house, and also I have given them to the Levite, the stranger, the fatherless, and the widow, according to all your commandments which you have commanded me. I have not transgressed your commandments, nor have I forgotten them. I have not eaten any of it when in mourning, nor have I removed any of it for an unclean use, nor given any of it for the dead. I have obeyed the voice of the Lord my God, and have done according to all you have commanded me. You know, I was just thinking about how that requires a lot of discipline. And that when the individual says, okay, I've removed it from my house, this is what I've done. I haven't eaten any of it. I haven't consumed it. I've laid it by. I've laid it by in store for this time, and I haven't used any of it for anything unclean or anything like that. I have obeyed the voice of the Lord. That takes discipline. It takes discipline, self-denial, a regimented mindset, if you will. Say, this is what the Lord has commanded, and I am going to do it. And that's the same sort of mindset we should have today. That let your yea be yea, as it is. But this is how people were cared for, and this is what the Lord has commanded as well, as they were thankful for their blessings, returning a portion of it as it is. As it goes on, verse 18, also today the Lord has proclaimed you to be his special people, just as he promised you that you should keep all his commandments, that he will set you high above all nations, which he has made in praise, in name, and in honor, and that you may be a holy people to the Lord your God, just as he has spoken. Pardon me if you heard a little buzzer while I was speaking. Someone's doing laundry in the house. But anyway, to this passage, I was just thinking about relationships with the Lord. That as we follow the Lord, as we discipline ourselves, and obey his commandments, we are his own peculiar people. Namely, we belong to him. That is how we are different. Come out from among them and be separate. And I will be your God, and you will be my people. We belong to him. And so we give our best to the Master. Appreciate you. Hope you have a good day. Join us tomorrow for another portion of our daily praise.